Rough stuff there. Game 2 coming at you right now. Allegiance confirmed out. Noble. If they win the second one, how much more comfortable are they here?
Noble, they're guaranteed.
They're already guaranteed.
They're guaranteed out of relegations if they win this next one. If they lose this one, they'll still be at 4 points, which means that Cryptic, if they win 2-0 against Vigilant, both Vigilant and Cryptic will be at 5 points, which would guarantee Noble into relegations as well.
ALG can still certainly play spoiler, and they're a team that absolutely will be down to play spoiler, so we'll see if it works out. The bans for Noble so far, the Hunter and the Support. ALG one more time, focusing on the jungle, saying no to Nemesis, but thinking about the second one, it'll be the Circuit.
I'm still a little bit trying to recover from that last game here, honestly. But the Circuit was a really good ban here from ALG. Skeeledon did a lot of work there. ALG didn't really respect the level 1 potential from the Circuit damage alongside the Bologna, which kind of disrupts ALG's momentum. They really rely on getting an early lead and then just being that bully throughout the rest of the game.
Going Fafnir here is a good look. Again, prioritizing Wubbn selection. He looked good on it last game around, and certainly vibes well with what Noble wants to do with respects to looking for the objectives. ALG, on the other hand, going to prioritize the Erlang, Shen, and the Soul this time around. So we'll see how these two picks work out for them. Soul one more time, I think, in the hands of Oceans.
Erlang Shen's another one of these flex picks. We don't really know whose hands it's going to go to. Honestly, even NeiruMah could play it in the support role, depending on how ALG want to kind of build their composition around. Noble going for a very early Hercules pick with Odin still on the table.
I like the Herc pick. I think Herc is just generally strong. Even when you shut down his healing, the pull push is just very, very troublesome to deal with. Thoth is, yes. Just give it to moswal.
Yeah.
Just give it to moswal. He played fantastic. The Geb selection for ALG, though.
Very important to try to protect your backline carries. The Geb shield is going to be the make it or break it in terms of keeping somebody alive from moswal's damage in the late game, even his poke.
So the Geb will be the guardian of choice. The Odin banned out by Noble. I like that choice again. And all eyes on Skeeledon here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there just isn't a Hebo banned out. Honestly, that's what he plays right down there, every character. Right in front of you.
Well, with the Thoth being already locked in for moswal, I doubt we're going to see the Hebo for Skeeledon.
Well, I'm just saying that's his entire card pool.
He plays Chang'e really well as well.
That's fair. Can Chang'e exist in this meta?
Right now, I still think so. Yeah, you could definitely build around the Chang'e jungle. I think that a lot of teams are starting to stray away from it simply because warriors are just more safer in general. They have the base damage with their abilities. You can still build them tanky. They like to get in their face. And Ravana has enough damage mitigation in his kit and escapability to just be a nuisance.
I agree as well. That'll likely wind up in the jungle for Noble. Although this weekend we have seen some Ravana in the solo lane. Osiris picked one more time. Won't be able to tell who's playing what till we get into the game, as per usual for ALG. But with Weekend playing Osiris last time around, do you think he's going to replay it, or does he take Erlang Shen here?
I think he might even just lock in the Erlang Shen, trying to have more control against moswal's Thoth, trying to taunt him in place, maybe knock him up, whereas Osiris just has a lot of slow in his kit, and a lot of just gods in general will be able to escape the tether from Osiris, so it's not the best thing coming from a jungle that's going to be the primary engager. Osiris is better in the solo lane that's going to be able to guarantee tether stun people after their escapes are already expended.
You know, I do this stupid little bit after our days here at SPL. I put out a video on Twitter, kind of going over the games, and one of the things that I've said about Noble for the past, I don't know, maybe 3 videos, I get lazy and reuse my bits, is that Noble have come out and played the best Smite of their lives and still wind up losing. But jokes aside, I actually mean that every step of the way. Noble the past 2.5 to 3 weeks have something happened. Like, I don't know what happened the past 2 weeks, but these guys have just turned up. And, I mean, we get the performance that we saw today. Granted, against Allegiance, and I think some people are going to pull some points for them because Allegiance is a lower-end team these days. But Noble, independent of who they were playing, looked fantastic. And they finally get that win. And, again, I just question, what if this was the first couple of weeks of the split and they get that win early on?
Some teams just take a little bit longer to come online than others, especially if you look at Energy and Arrival. Nice little steal.
Oh, my goodness.
Great steal.
Skeeledon had his back turned and just got hit by the knockup and everything else. Didn't expect Wowy to be there. Or, excuse me, didn't expect Metyankey to be there.
Same story as last game.
The other hunter.
Same exact story as last game. Noble, they lose pressure mid lane. They get collapsing around their speed, lose it very early on, but might find an answer on the left-hand side because Wowy and Wubbn, oh, Weaken with the first blood this time.
Now Weaken's in some trouble, surrounded by solo laner and jungler. The dive not going to happen, so the kill for Allegiance is good. Noble could have gotten the kill there, but Wubbn just misses the hammer on the gem.
Yeah, just not able to really find it quite yet there. But on the left side, red buff was stripped away against ALG, so that's another positive light for Noble, just to be able to get something back in their hands, not allowing either Metyankey or Oceans with a red buff.
Again, here, Whalrus on the Hercules. He's going to be sort of up a creek, won't have that blue buff available to him. He knows he's getting invaded. Whalrus here, though, against the Erlang Shen. What's your take on the solo lane matchup, Tully?
It's definitely going to go for CycloneSpin's favor until Whalrus gets that ultimate. The burst damage from Whalrus between the pull, push, boulder is too quick for CycloneSpin to get the heal off from his ultimate. So if there's ever a situation where CycloneSpin's at around half health, Whalrus has solo kill potential.
And that's something that Whalrus is going to be looking for, I'm sure. Absolutely going to keep an eye on that one to make sure that Whalrus won't wind up with the kill. CycloneSpin has to play a little bit carefully because of it. But at the same time, Erlang Shen, careful in the laning phase. Not exactly his due. He's got to be up there just banging around with the basics and the cleave on us.
That's true. You're trying to maximize your third ability between the Mink just to get additional attack speed, or the Turtle to get that additional health shield. And you're using that ability to also clear the wave. So if you're using your escape to clear the wave, that's an easy target for Whalrus to look for a play. And keep in mind what happened to the last time CycloneSpin played against a Hercules in the solo lane.
Oh, right. You sort of alluded to that anecdote earlier on. What happened there?
It was Omega that pushed CycloneSpin's Odin at level 2 into the tower and first blooded him. And I think that was the meta of the red potions as well. And
you maintain that CycloneSpin hasn't been the same ever since.
I think that play just hurt him mentally, right? Like, whenever you're born as an aggressive player the way CycloneSpin is, or built a foundation around being aggressive the way CycloneSpin has throughout his entire SPL career, to be able to be shut down that hard, you don't forget about a play like that, ever. Yeah,
and like you said, it can become sort of a mental block and prevent you from making those aggressive plays, which I think CycloneSpin still makes those aggressive plays, but if you guys remember the CycloneSpin of yesteryear, you know, going all the way back to Season 1, certainly a difference in the playstyle.
I mean, he used to play a Willish, Arachne, Ao Kwong, Bakasura in the solo lane, Kali, whatever he wanted in the solo lane. But now, Season 3, Season 4, he switched it up. And it's not because of
Isn't that a meta?
It's a little bit of the meta, but keep in mind that CycloneSpin and Weekend, they made their own meta. They didn't care what other teams were doing. Whatever worked for them, they would make sure that they ran it, but they stopped winning the early game the way they used to.
Red buff just walked into Allegiance, not going to be able to make that one happen. Metyankey really wanted to, but not going to be able to find that one. And you know, I ask you the question here, Toli. Is it possible that, like we sort of talked about it before, knowing that Weekend plays his defensive junglers, is it possible, Cyclone, could you just see a warrior jungle and a tanky built Baka solo? Could you see that classic CycloneSpin if he had it in him?
I think that, yeah, he would still run it. I'm sure that he still practices it every now and then, but
what keeps it from seeing it at the big show?
I think it's also the trust in his teammates. Maybe he doesn't have it the way he used to have it from before. I'm not going to make speculations on what his team is kind of saying in the background, but it's not just his decision anymore about what he wants to pick. It's also the team's decision.
But you think that those are viable legal strats here?
Right now, the way teams have been playing, I don't think it's viable for every single team.
Right,
I think against certain
teams,
is
viable for every team.
I think against certain teams, you could definitely get away with running an aggressive god such as Whalrus. What are you doing? He got it.
He's getting the big minion. That's what he's doing. I love it. I love that play. That's the type of stuff that, I mean, as a solo laner, you should appreciate the inches.
I like that play, considering that Noble, Speed, and Blue are not coming up for a while. If they were coming up within the next minute or so, then ALG guarantee invade that. But Whalrus made a conscious decision that, like, all right, we don't need to protect our own buffs. I have enough of a window to possibly steal this buff and still have my ultimate come up for when the speed buff respawns.
Yeah, I like to see those. Those are the sort of plays I like to see out of my solo laners. The very small wins, because, I mean, you know, I've been friends with you long enough to know that that's all solo lane's about. The combination of little win here, little win there.
You're basically smacking each other with a pillow in the solo lane, so you might as well throw a rock at a minion instead.
Wubbn here gonna get knocked up, but jumps away instead. Nice play from the solo lane, from the support player getting stuck out there.
That's also a little bit of a win because that avoids NeiruMah from proccing his Traveler shoes to get that 30 gold. Small win.
Again, those small wins are what winds up, you know, being the victory, especially when you look at how close this game is. You know, we're separated by 100 gold, maybe. Weaken, 75%, still just dealing with the mid lane. Jump over the top from Wubbn and Skeely.
Weaken was baiting himself on purpose because he was relying on the shield from NeiruMah. Also, he was setting himself up for that Blink Geb Cataclysm to knock up the Cataclysm.
Gone. Big crowd control coming out from the guys on Noble, on Allegiance. 2 kills already so far as Skeeledon falls down for number 2. Oof. Moswal shoves one right into NeiruMah, and Wowy puts the stinger on him for the answer back. Noble get a kill, but now CycloneSpin's getting pushed down. Weaken gets one, Whalrus gets the other. It's a 2 for 2. Oceans makes it a 2 one more time.
Skeeledon has revived, so he's able to make his presence felt here in the moment. The stun from Moswal connecting onto Oceans. The poke, so real, just not enough to finish him off.
Whalrus is going to get out of here. Ultimately, a 2 for 3 as Oceans is able to find the kill onto Wubbn after the fact. Skeeledon, Wubbn, and Wowy fall down off of the botched invade coming out from Allegiance.
Still worth it at the end of the day as ALG was able to strip away the speed from Skeeledon. That means he takes away the experience, allowing Weaken to maintain this 1-level lead for the moment. And that's very important for an Osiris jungle to maintain a lead over a Robin jungle, trying to make the bigger impact once they both dab.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to ignore that one and just apologize. I called it a botched invade, but ALG comes up on top. I threw myself under the bus so I wouldn't have to acknowledge the fact that you said what you said. How's that one?
I'm just going to be focused on both of these junglers dabbing the whole entire game.
Oh, man, you're hanging out with aggro too much.
A little bit too much, honestly. You know, all right, so should I spoil it between aggro and Ron?
I think they tweeted it, actually.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay. So there's a little bit of a bet. Office bet going on currently between aggro and Ron. Oh, hold that thought, though.
Oh, nice beads. Big beads coming out from Moswal. The ultimate down the middle. Not going to find a target. All of a sudden, this is a fight here. Skeeledon trying to bring down NeiruMah, and it's Wubbn bringing him help. Weaken has to jump away, but Wubbn confirms the kill onto NeiruMah. The aggression pays off. Well done by the support player.
The damage from Wowy, the stinger is just too real. The cripple also just prevents NeiruMah from rolling away. Not even using the blink to engage there. Just ALG getting caught with their pants down.
I like that play from Wubbn. I think 9 times out of 10 you tell your support to get the hell out of there, but Wubbn read the situation very well, knew just how much of a threat everybody else was, and jumps in and cleans up the kill. Very important.
Yet again, Noble are employing the same strategy they did in the early game 1, where they focus all their attention on the support of ALG before the tanky items come online. This time, NeiruMah on the Geb, not going for reinforced greaves. He went for Traveler shoes, but still caught with the tier 2 Hide of Urchin. It's very easy to find these kills on a level 8 Geb.
Still troublesome. Allegiance are up about 1,300 gold, you know, just in the early stages.
The invades were pretty key. The fact that they won some of the trades, 3 for 2, around that speed buff, allowed the stuff after this stuff, between the neutral camps, the Harpies slowly going their way. But as the game is progressing here, the 1-level lead that Metyankey and Weaken has could start to stagnate a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how long that experienced lead is going to be, you know, stationary. As Allegiance one more time look for the invade. They're a little bit late, however.
They got it, but Skeeledon didn't walk over his own speed buff there, unfortunately. Or at least I think they got it.
Yeah, it's on the ground for Noble.
Now wanting to pick it up here, though. NeiruMah setting up for a Blink Cataclysm.
Skeeledon had the purple for a moment.
Oceans
got chunked. Oceans got chunked.
Oh.
Was that Mozzie or Skeely? Either way, Oceans gets brought down to about 15% HP, forced out. With a little bit of breathing room, Noble are going to look at the Gold Fury. I don't know if they're going to commit here totally.
They could. Because Waken's dead.
With that kill, they absolutely are going to. Transformation to Wubbn, AoE coerce. Metyankey's here, but the Gold Fury's already at 60.
Metyankey, though, he's caught alone. The Geb Shield was used just to keep Jingwei up alive a little bit. Gold Fury very low. Metyankey wants to go in. The blink from NeiruMah.
Not going to be stolen. Noble are able to secure it thanks to a little help from Whalrus. Wowy comes through and punishes NeiruMah. Like the play, like the idea. Again, I say this all like almost every broadcast. You got to go for that play as a support, but shows up Noble's way.
A trickle effect. The damage from dealt onto Oceans from Noble forced the shell from Weaken, which means that once Weaken was caught out of position by himself, he couldn't shell himself. It was on cooldown. So the half of a kill on Oceans, the full kill onto Weaken, a technical 5-on-3 for Noble to allow themselves the timing window to get the Gold Fury under their belt.
Yeah, it was, and I like how Noble they push out the player in the mid lane, and then they shade over to the Gold Fury. And they're playing with their hand face up, right? They're showing the opposition exactly what they're doing. They're shading over there, saying, "Watch us if you want, because we're going to collapse on you very hard." They find one target, and again, well, they realize that small window of opportunity is all they really needed to go ahead and grab that objective. But again, totally. I mean, let's take a look at the graphs. That Gold Fury just basically evens up the game here.
Similar tale compared to the last one. These two teams are still very close in the action. ALG are not deterred or demoralized despite a very bad way to end the first game. They're still in it to win it here. They know they could still play spoiler despite being guaranteed in relegation. They want to drag Noble alongside them.
And listen, you know what? A lot of people a lot of people kind of get on Weaken's case for one reason or another, but one thing that I will always defend this man on is that he is not the type to give up. He is not a dude that folds his hand whatsoever. He's here. He knows that he lost. We understand that they're in relegation. Weaken is still going 100 miles an hour here in game number 2. Play spoiler or wreck, whatever you want to say. Weaken just wants to win this one, and he's not the type to really hang it up early. So I'm excited to watch this one flesh out.
Pulling the push onto CycloneSpin. He's going to knock off a Wubbn there. Stun onto NeiruMah. Not going to be able to really force anything on the right. These are two very tanky targets. Geb going to get pulled. Band push this time. Draconic Form being used. I think they're going to try to commit here.
They're going to go for NeiruMah. The rollout is too good, so he's absolutely safe. Meanwhile, the rest of Allegiance are coming over to the right side.
All members from ALG is collapsing on the speed buff. Metyankey making the rotation now in the mid lane as well. We got there first a little bit. Noble got caught dilly-dallying around the solo lane, trying to focus too heavily on NeiruMah.
And they're going to punish Wubbn in trouble. Wubbn in trouble. Wubbn's gone. Oceans gets the last hit. Just not enough buttons to press. Skeeledon barely alive.
How did he live?
Pond luck.
The pond luck. and still trying to catch.
The taunt misses. CycloneSpin will get the heal, but not the crowd control. Lucky he gets the heal because there's a moswal just tunneling damage through that corridor, sending Allegiance back. Look at all the relevant
the stun onto Oceans. He got caught slipping by himself. Moswal yet again making plays, recognizing like, hey, if you're just going to turn the corner around like that, I'm going to catch it every time.
Moswal has just been fantastic for this Noble squad since he joined. But I think these games specifically have just been a pleasure to watch him. You know, it's fun watching with the critical eye of aggro with the mid lane eye. He just has a lot of nice things to say. A lot of the people around the scene, players, analysts alike, have nice things to say about Moswal, and this is why. Just his ability, and again, it's that battle vision that I was talking about. His ability to see everybody coming down and filtering through this right side of the mid lane. Sure, that's not exactly rocket science, but catching that turn, that's important.
And he's also caught this nice mid-game curve power spike, finishing off the Spear of Desolation. That was even before he backed on out. He had it during that play. The damage from Moswal is very high here. ALG really need to respect the damage from this off.
This build is interesting. This build, the Spear of the Magus second, is interesting. You're only getting 80 power instead of the 100 power that you normally get from the direct power items. So it's an interesting choice, but you do get some of the penetration.
That's right. Spear of Desolation providing that 20 penetration alongside 10% cooldown reduction, but NeiruMah going to force out the beast from Moswal.
And there's a nice dash. Meanwhile, Skeeledon getting aggressive. Wubbn finding two. Again, a nice shot out of Moswal, but NeiruMah able to go ahead and just shield himself. He's playing Geb. That's pretty nice.
That's true.
pretty nice.
Having one stack of Height of the Urchin is indeed pretty nice for NeiruMah, considering that he's been the focus this entire set, honestly, between Game 1 and Game 2, already having 3 deaths, 60% of his team's deaths.
And that's kind of Geb. It's funny to call Geb immobile because he has rollout, which is a fantastic ability, but it takes so long to really ramp up that Geb can be caught out frequently, often, and a troubling amount of those catch-outs wind up turning into deaths.
That's why Gebs will tend to use that rollout behind their own backline, trying to use it as a primary engage tool, but having Blink is also a nice way to do that. ALG, though, feeling confident they have the numbers advantage, going to pull the gold.
Wowy's here, so is Whalrus. Gold is in trouble. Nice pick. There's the flip kick coming out, and the CycloneSpin going to be down to half HP. Whalrus throws the boulder, but still he's in trouble. We get to chasing him down. Couple of basics are good, but the team comes and saves him. The double W team jumps over the top, saves the solo laner, and now it's Skeeledon versus Weekend on the right side. He too will be safe and sound. Love the save of Whalrus by Wubbn and Wowy.
ALG started that engage because moswal and Skeeledon didn't have their ultimates at the time. moswal now just having his ultimate. Skeeledon will be up momentarily here, and that's going to allow Noble to potentially look to be aggressive.
Skeeledon just confirming his buff in the face of Weekend. And again, I like the protection. Wowy and Wubbn. When you look at a god like a Muzen Cobb and Fafnir to a lesser extent, you don't exactly think of these guys as peel-centric characters, right? Fafnir a little bit more offensive. Wowy got no peel whatsoever. He's got a slow by way of honey, but they just jump. They just jumped the guy looking at Whalrus, and Muzen Cobb peels by way of damage.
That's true. He's similar story to Anubis, right? Like, yeah, you can definitely go on these two gods, but the damage you're going to receive in return is very high. You have to make sure you kind of thread that needle very carefully.
Yeah, Muzen Cobb's damage is incredible. His damage is usually just very high.
I see you. I respect it.
Thank you.
I acknowledge you.
I appreciate it. You acknowledge me.
I acknowledge you.
That's not even positive. It's just, you exist. Congratulations. Thanks, Toli. I appreciate the handout. 5-5 here in our first game of North American action. And Noble take game 1, which confirmed that Allegiance will be in. They will get relegated out. Of course, they do have a shot to actually make the postseason via the gauntlet, but they will be at least 6 or 7. NOLA, on the other hand, they need to win another game in order to be absolutely comfortable.
If they don't, they'll be at 4 points, which means cryptic. If they 2-0 against Vigilant, we'll be at 5 points and we'll just topple over Noble, forcing them into relegations.
New names there, Cryptic being the squad that came in from the bottom of formerly a Mighty Storm. That's going to be Vedium's squad, and Team Vigilant, well, that's Captain Payne. It's Payne Devion and his little band of way too successful misfits, as I like to call them. This is the 3rd time that Payne's taken a team, I think, and just been unreasonably successful.
I mean, I don't know what he eats and drinks on the daily basis, but whatever his diet consists of, honestly, has been helping him out.
You know what it is? It's the LARPing. Payne is a LARPer, live action roleplay.
That's true.
Payne is a LARPer.
You know what?
I
think you onto something. I really do.
You know, I'm half kidding. I'm sure he like LARPs Battlefield, preparation or something.
Yeah,
maybe it helps.
That video that Vice made.
Yes, of Payne Devion. That's one you got to find. Definitely a good look. I'll link it online a little bit later, but Payne Devion, certainly a character. Glad to see him back in the scene. Noble and Allegiance trying to cling to that same relevance that Payne Devion has right now. And moswal has been a shining light for Noble here as he brings Oceans down to half HP. Weekend on the charge by himself. This is not a safe move, Weekend. He gets stunned out by the mid lane. He's by himself still. Gets a little bit of help from his friend CycloneSpin, and they actually bring Skeeledon low enough to chase out the ultimate, so there's method to the madness. Weekend by himself running to where CycloneSpin was, and now I'll focus on Whalrus.
Trying to find the pull onto Oceans, not on the mark, but will push out Weekend. They're up
Skeely
and
has
down.
no ultimate. Skeely has no life. Oceans winds up putting him in the ground, 3-0 and 2. And a fantastic play from the newly acclimated mid lane soul.
All that damage dealt onto Oceans was negated by the self-sustaining heal and the small and steady play from ALG, forcing Noble out of their own speed buff. They picked up Skeeledon. They're trying to pick up Wubbn in return.
No contest. Wobbin jumps away. Whalrus is also looking for an escape here. Relatively healthy, but he's only level 15 in comparison to Cyclone 17.
That's the patient action here between both of these teams. Meanwhile, Metyankey soloing the Gold Fury, responding to Noble's earlier attempts here. They're now with a pretty comfortable lead.
Devo gloves allow Metyankey to go ahead and do that.
Oof. See ya.
Moswal allows Wubbn to go ahead and do that. Tying the game 6-6.
With that one death, though, that could be a Portal Demon, a 5-on-4 advantage. ALG are trying to sneak it, but they're doing it without Metyankey. They're going to force out his double relics.
The fact that Metyankey isn't there in the lane, the fact that Metyanky's there in the lane, I actually thought they would confirm the Portal Demon.
They're still very low. The boulder being used. I will force the reset for the moment. Eclipse Oceans on the backhand side. Skeeledon going to look for it, going to bait himself out a little bit. Oceans forced to retreat on the north-hand side. Weekend's now caught alone in a 1v3.
And he's stunned, and he's in trouble. Able to get away. Thorn's going to hurt a little bit, but no big deal there.
Wowy, though, on the left-hand side, he got the tier 1 tower. He's now trying to go for the tier 2. He's in a 1v1 against Metyankey. Agility coming through.
Take the fight. There's the bees. Couple of basics missed. 3 basics in a row missed by Wowy. Metyankey with the accuracy of an archer. Lucky number 7 for Allegiance. And Metyankey proving one more time that maybe he shouldn't have left the long lane, putting Wowy in the ground for 45.
Very easy kill for Metyankey as he found the flank and surprised Wowy. Also having red buff, allowing him to have the slight edge there, but also it's a little bit difficult to find a boxing advantage for Wowy, considering he's playing the Muzen cob, as opposed to most hunters, most hunter gods. Your in-hands are coming from the right, but for a Muzen cob, it's coming from the left. So if you don't practice this guy day in, day out, you're going to miss something.
I make a face, but that's more real than it's not.
Yeah.
You get very used to something. But at the same time, I mean, a Muzen cob between the Stinger and between the Stinger and the Hives, you are the boxing character.
That's true.
You gotta hit those basics.
I'm not sure if the Stinger was available because it wasn't used there. Wowy's dead with the Stinger up. Weekend's gonna tumble in the mid lane. Noble trying to hold on to that mid lane. A CycloneSpin's gonna get chased out by 3 Noble members.
Here's the problem.
The root. The Gab Cataclysm, though, is going to buy a little bit of a moment. CycloneSpin's going to use that agility, but moswal! So accurate.
Moswal, just stop it.
So accurate.
Disrespectful. Moswal with no respect.
No respect on the name.
Just shoot him through the wall. First kill of the game. 6 assists.
Oh, Metyankey not allowing Wowy to even come close to that tier 2 tower. He found one solo kill. He's going to get another.
Metyankey, the disrespectful player now. You got Moswal versus Metyankey. That's what I'm watching here in game number 2. I am just watching Metyankey just wreck players. Just killing it. Top player damage for his squad here. Representing him and his team very well.
What region does he represent?
So he's from Long Island, but he goes to school in upstate New York now.
So does that, like, taint Long Island's rep now?
No, all Long Islanders go to school in SUNY upstate. That's just par for the course.
Fair enough.
That's par for the course.
Oh,
but
the knock-up. Wow.
Oh
Metyankey yet again. Finding a very easy kill there. Skeeledon not even able to use that ultimate. That persistent gust is such a good form of crowd control. Any knock-up.
He'll take that. Metyankey's backing in the face of Wubbn. Wubbn knocks him up, and he goes, okay, I'll fight you, and just tosses a couple of basics into the level 13. Fafnir. 13!
Is it an unlucky number?
Well, now he's 14. Whalrus, all his numbers are unlucky right now. Dashing away from Weekend, going to be followed up on. No healing for the Hercules for the moment. But the rest of the squad of Noble will meet him right there.
Weekend really loves to use these ultimates very early in the engage. He's actually using that Thorn, still zoning out 3 Noble members as the rest of his team getting the Portal Demon.
Moswal not aware that the Portal Demon's going to go down here. Might have been able to take it. Wowy takes care of Weekend. The zone job a little bit too deep. Wubbn by himself goes for the steal. Not going to happen. And now he's relatively low, going to be in trouble here. CycloneSpin on the chase. Coerce is good.
Here comes
Sprint is better.
Metyankey.
And Whalrus taking so much damage from Metyankey.
Stun. Here it comes, though. The return fire from Noble, catching Metyankey out, forced to use that ultimate defensively. It's going to be on the chase, though, for the moment, but Skeeledon, thinking otherwise, going to retreat towards that tier 1 mid tower.
Like I said, Metyankey versus moswal. That's the game I'm watching today. This is the game I'm watching today. Mozzie has put the team on his back in both games, and that's not to knock the other players. We've seen solid gameplay out of, honestly, Wubbn specifically, which I think is a surprise. Wubbn has been the player, I don't want to say holding this team back, but has definitely been one of the problem players on this team throughout not just this split, but many splits. And again, talking about their recent performances, this set, last set, and the set prior to it, some of the best performances by all 5 players, including Wubbn, and Wubbn has been integral in game number 1 here.
Definitely in game number 1. Outside of the ultimate that he used inside the soul lane in game number 2 onto NeiruMah, which could have been used to save his own speed buff, I would have to certainly agree with you. Wubbn has been at the right place at the right time. He's been saving his backline. He's been enabling them to do the objective damage that they're truly capable of.
On not Geb, which is a really big point. CycloneSpin getting a little bit of a taunt. CycloneSpin. He's all by himself, but a big heal thanks to Erlang Shen's ultimate. And now he's going to be all right. Skeeledon in trouble. He's rooted. Can the finish come quickly? And Oceans puts double digits on the board for ALG.
Not enough.
Oswald misses by a hair.
Not enough distance there to cover and find the return kill onto CycloneSpin. That heal from Cyclone coming in huge.
Gold Fury. Listen, it's gone. Metyankey takes out another objective by his lonesome. Hunters, Gold Furies, what do you want? Metyankey's going to go solo it by himself. That's all he needs. Where's the team? Zoning. I mean, killing. Skeeledon down for another 16.
This is what ALG is truly capable of. The individual talent from some of their players can truly shine in moments. In game number 1, CycloneSpin playing the Kakolin was able to make a very impressive Gold Fury steal, protect his backline very well. This game, it's been all Metyankey shining for ALG.
I mean, the question about ALG has always been, well, we'll see right now, because the question is the Fire Giant.
The push, too, from Whalrus, getting weakened, out of position. He's a little bit low here. ALG needs to disengage because that boulder melted Metyankey.
The combination of the solo lane and the mid lane taking down Metyankey, that's the big threat. One pull, not going to find the push. Ocean still in trouble. Wubbn going to be blocked out by way of NeiruMah and CycloneSpin. Trouble still for ALG as they're on the back foot. Noble take down the Hunter, and they feel like they can do anything right now.
40 seconds remaining for Metyankey to revive. Tier 1 tower being looked at by Noble. NeiruMah used his rollout looks at Noble as they siege that tower from here. They could have looked for the Fire Giant, but Wowy had no mana available, not even for dropping the Hive there. And it's a little too risky to 5-on-4 on the Fire Giant, let alone look at what ALG tried to do with a 5-on-5.
Exactly, so better played safe than sorry. Noble, when you're down, it's little win, little win, little win. You don't just kill the Hunter and then take everything.
They're trying it again, yet again, because of how far Weaken is zoning everyone away.
This is the right play.
ALG spotted how far Noble ran away from this Fire Giant. No one is even near except for Skeeledon. I don't think he can steal this one.
They don't have Metyankey, which is a lot of sustained damage, but they have Oceans, which brings some damage of his own. Here comes the rest of Noble. This is absolutely stealable for Wally, and that's why Allegiance are going to back off. They're looking for the team fight. Here comes Metyankey on the back end. Watch out of the middle of your screen as the Hunter comes right down Broadway, looking for everybody. Trouble, moswal lining up, but it's Metyankey and Weaken making it happen. Wowy and Whalrus down for 40+ seconds.
ALG are just so good about disrupting the intents of their enemies, just like that, finding 2 clean picks, baiting Noble into ALG to try to focus this Muzen Cop Hunter that has no natural escape. CycloneSpin, though, buying a little bit too much time. He took a lot of poke, but this is enough of a window for ALG to get 1,500 gold.
CycloneSpin, do whatever you're doing. All you need to do is let Metyankey breathe. That is all anybody on this team needs to do right now. They need to do 2 things. Tell everybody where moswal is, and make sure Metyankey doesn't get dove. That's all that needs to happen on this ALG team for them to win this game.
And switching things up, going from the Scotty into this Jing way that has more escape tendencies in her kit was a great switch up for Metyankey.
It's also just, and this is viewer perspective, it's just more Metyankey style. Just shoot him in the face. Scotty is more like ability-based with the dog, and Metyankey played it fine. But when I watch Metyankey, I want to watch him play Ho Yi. I want to watch him play
Rom.
The guys that just come up and shoot you in the dome. That's what Metyankey's been doing for so long. And what I find, you know, I feel like I shouldn't have to remind people that literally a year ago, less than that, we were talking about, is Metyankey the best hunter in North America, period, end of conversation. And now he's on ALG. This performance should not be a surprise. This is what he's capable of.
Pull in the push onto Oceans. Great Aegis and Geb Shield from NeiruMah, keeping his mid-mage alive, but it's Wowy with the knockup. Weekend gonna stop the sustain as well. The rest of ALG gonna keep chasing, but it's Skeeledon in the back, killing Oceans.
moswal gets his beads chased out, still gonna be able to be safe and sound. Left side, it's all about Metyankey. We solo the Gold Fury, we solo the Hunter, we solo y'all Phoenixes again. There's another win for Metyankey, and he's chasing down Skeeledon.
He's trying to find the kill, but Wowy's grouped up, Persistent Gust, barely being avoided, but look at those crits.
Who's coming? Metyankey taking the jungler, taking the hunter. Metyankey by himself. Fantastic job by Metyankey.
Yet again, just showing us all why he's still in the realm of discussion as that top hunter player. You were talking about a year ago when he was in Soar Gaming as a hunter there.
Yeah.
His positioning, his just skill shots were just next level, but still making it happen here for ALG despite being in relegation.
How is he still allowed to be alone is my question. Like, okay, the Gold Fury, everybody's zoned out. The one-on-ones in the long lane, that's the meta right now. How is he able to get the Phoenix by himself?
It was just too much action on the right side of the map because we saw CycloneSpin at that tier 2 tower in the mid lane and then being able to turtle form away. Couple members from ALG get the tier 2 on the right. Quietly was Metyankey making his way down on the left side, but where the minions were already slightly closer
that's
towards
a big
Noble
deal.
anyway.
If I'm Noble and I'm fighting on the right side, I go, hey, wait a second. I'm still alive. Where's Metyankey?
True.
Because if he's here, I'm probably dead. Where is Metyankey? Somebody go save it. And it's Skeeledon who shows up. And again, he just shows up too late.
Yeah.
And it's too much action going on.
He was busy diving the backline, trying to kill out Oceans there. He was successful in dabbing on him, and then after that, he wasn't able to really hold his left side Phoenix.
I thought you were going to mention it without mentioning it, totally. I thought it was possible. But anything is possible, I suppose. Metyankey with a nice angle, landed a couple of shots. Even hurting that Hercules so much. Just such a powerful situation right now. Already has a power pot. There's the blink forward coming out from the Geb. This could be the end. Beautiful play coming out from NeiruMah. Can the team follow up? Whalrus and Skeely already in the red. Weekend in trouble as well. Jumping forward again. Wowy and Wubbn take care of the jungler. And Allegiance are now 5-on-4.
They're trying to find some return kills. Metyankey going to turn it around. CycloneSpin to the kill onto Wubbn. A second
double kill
onto Wowy. Metyankey diving onto moswal, thinking about landing on into the backline here. Needs to avoid the damage from moswal.
And now still looking for Whalrus as Metyankey. Just trying to trade out some basics. There's Oceans on the left side taking care of business. 3 down for Noble. Allegiance on the aggressive.
Wow.
They've got 2 Phoenixes down. Metyankey very low, but he does have lifesteal. Able to heal that one up, no problem. They're going to go for the right side Phoenix. Players down for 20+ seconds and they go for the Titan.
moswal forced out the double relics from Metyankey off of that one stun alone. Upgraded relics. Metyankey full build, fully upgraded relics. All 3 Phoenixes down from Noble. ALG with 4 members here. Still can look to retreat here. His Fire Giant's respawning in 33 seconds.
Metyankey full HP now after a little bit of help from his Devo gloves. And the Fire Giant will cause the retreat. Allegiance lost in this case last time around, where there were 3 Phoenixes down and they went and contended and they wound up losing the game because of the Firemen that's killing their Titan. Noble, I don't think are going to make the same mistake.
I think they're a little bit better than that.
Allegiance is better than that.
I think every team in the SPL history is better than that.
Including this team.
Sanguine is better than that.
Oh,
Season
no.
3.
I
Justice? Thirst? Thirst is not better than that? Or
I am already lost in this conversation, Anatoly. 35 minutes in, Noble. They need 2 to guarantee a safe and secure voyage into the postseason. Noble, worst case scenario for them, Allegiance wind up winning this one, which right now they are certainly in the lead. What happens to Noble if they split?
if Noble splits, Noble will be at 4, ALG will be at 3. That means Noble will need to hope that Cryptic needs to win at least one game, which would force Vigilant needs to win one game to force Cryptic to get no more than 3 points, which will still allow Noble to avoid relegations.
So as long as, if Noble wind up losing this one, they're buying Pain to Beyond beverages. They're
Pretty
saying,
much.
Please win, please win. And that's always a scary proposition, watching another team handle your destiny. So Allegiance right now, they certainly want to confirm that. They want this win. As I said before, Allegiance, this is a team that fights.
Metyankey yet again.
No, they know who they need to look for, and it's again moswal through the wall. NeiruMah pushed forward by Whalrus. There's the boulder. Now Noble trying to defend their Titan.
I don't think the boulder was absolutely necessary there, considering how far back ALG is anyway. These Phoenixes are not responding for at least another minute anyway. At least hold on to your throne room. Throw out the boulder once Metyankey becomes more visible. His relics are not available for another 100 seconds. Fire Giant's still around their waist for another 2.5 minutes.
I like how Wowy's still up here just providing the damage. It's very tough to really get out there and have the grit to find yourself not frontline, but actually able to deal hunter damage in this moment. Wowy's still providing it. Metyankey, on the other hand, certainly leading his team. He gets pulled, won't get pushed, forced to ultimate away. Nice choice, but now he doesn't have that available. Wowy brought all the way down to 10% HP. Cyclone ain't letting him go. There he is on the chase.
He can't
Couple
get
of
away.
basics, but he gets saved out by Whalrus.
He got away! He got away, and Wubbn's going to take a spell to Oceans, and just like that, ALG melt the Titan. They're going to find the split here, still keeping Noble's chances out of relegations up in the air.
Exactly. So as we covered before, the 1-1 split for Noble means that ALG, unfortunately for them and their fans, will be out. They are now below that level, that number 7 threshold, so they will be relegated out, and they will join the rank of Team Cryptic for now. But Noble, with the split, they've got 4 points, and they need to hope that Cryptic's able to topple.
That's right. Vigilant versus Cryptic is crucial for Noble's chances here. They got the 4 points. They would have been most happy with a 6 if they find the 2-0 after a very crazy back-and-forth Game 1. Game 2 was all in ALG's hands. They didn't take their foot off the gas pedal, and they really bounced back.
Metyankey versus moswal. What else can you say? Fantastic start to our final day here of North American Smite action. Stay tuned. We've got more coming at you.
Do you believe that time will treat us well? Do you believe I could never tell? What if it's all in vain? What if it didn't mean a thing? Have I gone insane? Or was it all part of your game? Do you believe that we'll make it to the end? Do you believe that I'll still be your friend? Did I ever do you wrong? Were there a defining moment? If you were to be reborn, would you do it all again? Yeah, would you do it all again? Would you do it